When we first met Draco Malfoy, he was arrogant, prejudiced, and positively mean to Hermione and other students.
You filthy little mudblood.
But he wasn't all bad. So here in this video, I'll take a look at Draco's character and argue about whether was Draco Malfoy considered an evil person or not, despite being undoubtedly a bit of a kid. It's clear that Draco was hugely shaped by his parents, particularly his father. He even started a great number of sentences with the phrases like,
"Yes, father."
Unfortunately, Lucius Malfoy happened to have some pretty awful views about the world, which rubbed off into his son. Lucius believed the half-blood and muggle-born wizards were below purebloods, something he no doubt pushed Draco into. Think how invincible Lucius might have seemed to Draco, a rich and influential man with great connections such as the Minister of Magic himself. If he said mudbloods weren't worthy, then perhaps it might be true. Lucius could be pretty awful to Draco. You could tell from the Malfoy Manor chapter in Deathly Hallows that Lucius was sometimes guilty of putting pressure on his son, but all Draco wanted to do was make his father proud of him. It's easy to forget that at one point Draco actually wanted to be friends with Harry Potter. Draco's family had wondered if the reason Harry had survived the killing curse all those years ago in Godric's Hollow was perhaps because he was also a powerful dark wizard. Harry refused his slightly aggressive offer of friendship.
I think I can tell the wrong sort for myself, thanks.
Choosing two people Draco would never befriend instead, the poor Ron Weasley and the muggle-born Hermione Granger. Their competition was set from this moment on, but it was made worse by Draco's parents' efforts to openly encourage it. When Harry became the youngest Seeker on the Gryffindor Quidditch team in a century, Lucius bought the whole Slytherin team new brooms in return for Draco being made Seeker too. It's as if whatever Harry did, Lucius hoped that Draco could do better. We started to understand Draco's true character when he was ordered to kill Dumbledore. The boy who usually was bragging began to unravel, and he never managed to perform his mission. After all, it might have been known to Draco as great honor, but on closer inspection, it looked very much like punishment for his father's failures. He could hardly have said no to the Dark Lord, and it could have been a chance to shine in his father's eyes, but Draco was afraid. He started looking unwell, even paler than normal. Clearly, he wasn't sleeping. Harry overheard him crying in the bathroom when it all got too much for him. You couldn't help but feel a bit sorry for Draco by this point. He was in too deep, and there was nothing that he could do. Then when it came to the murder itself, he couldn't do it. This told us a lot about the young Draco Malfoy. When Harry, Ron and Hermione were caught by Snatchers and taken to Malfoy Manor, the Malfoys were excited. Their chance to impress Voldemort again had come. Draco was called to identify Harry. This seemed like a golden opportunity for Draco to finally get his revenge once and for all on the person he had bickered with for years, but instead he hesitated. This wasn't getting one over on his rival, it was leading him to his death. Considering their rivalry over the years, who would have ever thought that Draco Malfoy would save Harry Potter from Lord Voldemort? So Draco wasn't the nicest person we've ever come across. He was narrow-minded and could be a bit of an idiot and spiteful, but Draco never truly joined the Death Eaters. Despite years of molding from his father, there was just something else inside him that didn't want that life. Draco did a lot of terrible things to Harry during their time at school, but along the way, much like his head of house, Draco learned from his mistakes. Draco Malfoy was never an evil person.